Good evening, everyone. This is Monday, August 27th, I think, 2017. And we're at a familiar site. This is the house of the Dumas residents. And we figure Dominic had a good idea for me to just say a few words on how things went yesterday at the racetrack. So, with my long weekend, that was the weekend. Stan and I got to go visit Kristen and Aaron to go see their first volleyball game in North Carolina. We had a great time. It was a memorable time for Stan and myself. Finished the game up Saturday night. Left North Carolina around 10 o'clock p.m. Drove all night. Stan drove a little bit. I drove a little bit to get back to Columbus about 5:30. Thought I'd have a little time to rest, but it didn't happen. I had to go pick up the trailer, return the rental car, so we had to do quite a bit of running, but picked the trailer up. From there, I was a little tired, as you can imagine. Then woke Flora up, asked her could I take a shower over her house, trying to save time. So took a shower, had to change of clothes, got myself dressed, ran out, loaded back up, and got on the road. So went on out to the track and had a good day out there. The few changes that I did from the last time when I ran was very small. I think I moved my timing up to 40 degrees, kept everything else the same. The week before when I ran, I had a pretty bad valve cover leak. When I was at Edgewater, you guys didn't know that because it was smoking like a sieve. Going down the track, and as I come out of the burnout box, it was smoking like crazy. So I changed that valve cover gasket, but in that process, the valve cover was leaking so bad, it would leak down the side, then leak on the header, but it was also leaking around the spark plug hole, that last cylinder. So it had actually leaked through the threads and was sort of maybe fouling that plug out just a bit. So I found that out and had a couple of old plugs. So Beck now has 6 NGK plugs in it and 2 Autolite 3910 plugs in the back. Those are Vern's old plug numbers, so I have mismatched plugs in there. And that's all I did, was just did that and then sprayed everything down, try to get all the oil off of the firewall and the headers and everything. So I think that was the only changes that I did. And then went out to see what she ran. So Beck ran the best it ever ran with this motor, and it ended up on the paper it ran 11:15. I think at 118. On one run, it looked like it would have ran 11:13, but I don't actually have a ticket that show 11:13. But it went, 11:15, and my fastest 8th mile, I think, was 7:03, and the weather was pretty good, but it still wasn't. I think it was like 2,000 feet or 1,800 feet when we ran. I can't remember, but it was really good though. And then even during the end of the day, I think it got up to maybe 3,000 feet, and it still didn't change a whole bunch. So Beck is tuned in pretty good carburetor wise, so it doesn't fluctuate a whole bunch. I did have my rear air pressure at 12 pounds this time. I had it that way once before, and I think I'm right on the borderline of when the track is great, it'll work great, but when the track is a little bit bad, I think it'll spin every now and then. So next time I run, whenever that might be, I'm going to lower the air pressure just a half a pound and go to 11 and a half and not change anything else. And hopefully that'll get my 60 foots back down to consistent 60 foots instead of bouncing around just a bit. But it was a good runs, had a, it was running good tight numbers, had some good races. Jamie Runyon, Doug Baker, uh, my nemesis, J Pat, beat him on a very good race. I lost first round, so I didn't get any points. That would have been great to get some points, to try to move up a little bit. But when you buy back, you don't get any points. So, but anyway, so I lost. I went to the finals and made it to the finals, and lost to Sean Pitts in the finals. I had a bad red light, but once again, this is from driving all night, racing all day. I lost focus on that last race. But even before that, Sean Pitts and I even made a little deal that we would just split the prize money. So that's what we did. We split the prize money and then actually only raced for $50. So that's how that ended up, though. So I didn't do too bad for the weekend. So Dominic got it on film, and a junior came out and had a rough day, and then he left. So it was just Dominic and me, and we had, plenty of family out there, plenty of friends, the Littles, Nick Ribish and them, so it was a good weekend. So that's how the weekend went.
All right, good job.
All right, thank you.
All right.